On Thursday night, during a CNN town hall focused on LGBTQ issues, Democratic presidential candidate Beto O'Rourke was asked whether churches should lose their tax-exempt status if they opposed same-sex marriage. His response was a blunt yes.
This is from your LGBTQ plan, and here's what you write. This is a quote. Freedom of religion is a fundamental right, but it should not be used to discriminate. Do you think religious institutions like colleges, churches, charities, should they lose their tax-exempt status if they oppose same-sex marriage?
Yes. There can be no reward, no benefit, no tax break for anyone or any institution, any organization in America that denies the full human rights and the full civil rights of every single one of us. And so as president, we're going to make that a priority, and we are going to stop those who are infringing upon the human rights of our fellow Americans.
Congressman, thank you.
I was shocked to hear that from a presidential candidate for a number of reasons. But I get why he said it. I mean, he's at an LGBTQ forum. He's not doing well in polling. He's gotten a lot of well-deserved praise for being strong and vocal about his opposition to guns, even compared to other Democrats. So the idea that churches should not be rewarded if they're anti-gay seems like a slam dunk. I mean, no wonder the audience applauded like it did. But I have to tell you, he got this one wrong. What he said was pure catnip for the religious right. They'll be able to fundraise off of his answer for years to come, and they would have a point. This wasn't a tough question, but he should have said no. Churches can believe whatever they want. If they want to say the earth is flat, and evolution is a hoax, and God created Adam and Eve for a reason, they should be allowed to do all of that without being punished by the government. And taking away a tax exemption that all nonprofits receive by default based solely on something awful that they think would be a punishment. I think it would be far better for churches to be held to the same standards as other nonprofits, and that's not what's happening right now. They should have to file the same paperwork as other charities. They should be open and transparent about where their donations go and what their pastors get paid. They should not be telling their congregations how to vote. Violate those rules, lose your tax exemption. Simple. I saw some people online argue that no churches should be tax exempt, period. I disagree with that premise for a bunch of reasons I might go into in another video, but I think it would be fine for them to keep the exemptions as long as they play by the rules. If they did, as they should, we'd be in business. But right now, religious institutions get away with everything. They don't have to file the same paperwork as secular nonprofits. They don't have to explain where the money goes. Even when pastors do endorse candidates, the IRS doesn't do anything about it. We need to fix that. But O'Rourke said opposing same-sex marriage was violation enough. He's wrong. A pastor should have the right to refuse to bless or perform a same-sex ceremony in the church without it interfering with the church's nonprofit status. Look, I think those pastors are ethically wrong. I think they're bigots. But I don't want the government telling any church what they can and can't believe if they want certain perks. Look, a Christian judge who works at a courthouse should not get that leeway if a same-sex couple wants to get married. Someone like that Kentucky County Clerk, Kim Davis, should not be allowed to not sign same-sex marriage licenses because she personally believes homosexuality is a sin. A Christian business owner should not be allowed to refuse to sell goods to gay customers. But pastors and government workers work under different rules. What matters to me is civil marriage and how the government treats same-sex couples. I don't give a damn if a bigot pastor remains a bigot within his bubble. The second he tries injecting those harmful ideas beyond the bubble, by writing legislation against LGBTQ people, for example, by all means, let's condemn him until our throats are hoarse. That's what we should do in response to Christian bigotry, not say your tax exemption depends on you agreeing with the government. I want this debate to be about why they're morally wrong. The bigger issue concerning this topic, though, isn't evangelical pastors preaching ignorance to their followers. That's not new. It's Republicans writing laws based on right-wing theology and a conservative Supreme Court and federal bench upholding them. O'Rourke's answer makes it sound like he wants to punish thought, not action. By his logic, we should also revoke the tax exemptions of nonprofit anti-abortion groups, since they want to abolish women's rights. But that's a slippery slope we don't want to go down, since it could easily be turned against progressives if the wrong people were in power. Let's not give the religious right easy talking points. O'Rourke overstepped the line of separation between church and state. What he said, if implemented, would be unconstitutional. I think if he just said that in the heat of the moment, he should admit the mistake and move on. But my point is that it was a mistake.